So right now, Kling O1 is the undisputed heavyweight champion of AI video. If you want realism, you use Kling. But Runway just dropped Gen 4.5 and the claims are massive. They aren't just talking about better pixels, they're promising real-world physics, complex sequencing, and the highest ELO score in history. Now, marketing hype is cheap, so today we're doing a good old-fashioned stress test. I did get early access and I'm pitting Gen 4.5 directly against Kling O1 to answer one single question. Is it time to cancel your Kling subscription, or is Runway just hallucinating again? Let's find out. Now, I didn't just type random stuff into a text box. To keep this fair, I developed a specific testing process. For every single test, I ran two versions of the prompt. First, the universal base prompt, which is a plain natural language, no tricks, just describing the scene. Second, the optimized prompt. I literally had an LLM read the documentation for both models to generate the mathematically perfect prompt structure for each platform. Now, why go through all this trouble? Because if I use the universal prompt and Runway fails, I want to know if the model is actually bad or if I just suck at prompting. So let's get into the results. First up, physics, the Porsche test. Now, the goal was simple: drive a vintage Porsche through a solid glass wall. I wanted to see weight, momentum, and destruction. Starting with Runway's universal base prompt, honestly, it's unusable. The wall breaks for a split second, but then the debris turns into this weird liquidy dust, and the car literally hallucinates mid-shot, morphs backwards, and drives off with zero respect for gravity, which I don't appreciate. So I switched to the optimized prompt based on the official Gen 4.5 guide. Now, this is solid. The shards finally look like glass, and they don't evaporate. But here's the problem. The physics are still weird. The wheels are spinning like crazy, but the car isn't really going anywhere. It feels like the car is just floating through the wall instead of actually crashing into it, which sucks. Now look at Kling O1. The glass weirdly changes color when it explodes, which is also annoying, but look at that weight. Even with that classic Kling slow motion feel, the physics just feel realer. You actually feel the impact, or at least I did. So the verdict for physics: Runway improved the environment, but Kling still edges it out on that visceral, heavy feeling. All right, round two, sequencing. So physics are cool, but can this actually take direction? Runway claims Gen 4.5 handles accurate sequencing, so I gave it a complex scene: fire, reload, look up. And to be fair, Runway isn't lying. Watch the timeline. He fires, he reloads, and he looks up. The acting is timed perfectly, which is great, and that head tilt at the end is surprisingly good. But the action itself is still sloppy. Look at the reload. It looks like he's molding clay and not operating a firearm. What are you doing? Now, is this production ready? For a quick cut, maybe, but for a hero close-up, absolutely not. It still struggles with complex hand-object interaction. Now, watch Kling. Visually, it wins. That muzzle flash is just beautiful, but it fails the logic test. He fires, tries to reload, glitches out, and then tries to reload again. It gets stuck in this nonsensical double reload loop and completely ignores the command to look up. Now, this is the difference between a generator and a director. Kling made a pretty clip. Runway actually listened to my instructions. So Runway takes this round, glitchy hands and all. All right, round three, Fidelity, the pretty test. I wanted a tear of golden molten lava on a fashion model's face. Visually, Runway is definitely a step up from Gen 3, as the sharpness and reflections are actually client ready. But in terms of physical accuracy, it still misses the mark a bit. Look closely. The gold feels like it's floating just above the skin. It doesn't really interact with the pores. Now, it's gorgeous, but it doesn't feel wet. Then there's Kling. Kling absolutely destroyed this test, in a good way. Look at the skin texture. That's real. Pores and all. You can actually feel the weight of the gold dragging down the subject's eyelid. Runway made a pretty picture. Kling made a photograph. Now, Kling is still the undisputed king of visuals. So is Runway a bust? Actually, no, because I haven't even shown you their best feature yet. Timestamp prompting. Runway now lets you tell the model exactly when to move. Look at this. I told it at 4 seconds, raise eyebrows, and it just did it. Now, the coherence is rock solid. Look at this driving scene. I told it to turn the dashboard lights on at 5 seconds, and boom, lights on at 5 seconds. Now, the realism isn't perfect. The guy looks like he's holding a blinker a little bit too long, to be honest, and I can see cold breath where it shouldn't be, which isn't great, but the control, that is a game changer for editors. Now, here's the part AI tools never really talk about. These models can generate incredible shots, but they don't assemble them in your timeline for you. every sequence you just watched still ends up inside Premiere Pro, where I'm stitching, timing, comparing, and packaging everything into something usable. And because I live in Premiere almost every day, the plugins I use actually matter. So if you're still manually cutting podcasts or long edits into shorts, you are wasting your life. Brevity's AutoCut does it for you. Detects the viral moments, polishes them with styled captions, even sprinkles in emojis. Just fire it up, let AutoCut do the heavy lifting, and get started free today. All right, so what's the verdict? If you need the highest fidelity, purely real looking video, go ahead and stick with Kling. It just understands texture and weight better right now. But if you're a director, and if you need specific actions, timing, and control over your timeline, Runway Gen-4.5 is actually the smarter model. It listens better, even if it's not quite as pretty. Now, as always, I've put the full breakdown of these prompts, including the optimized versus universal versions, in the description below, so you can test them out for yourself. Now, with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.